his Supreme Court pick won over any of those who had criticized him. Joining us tonight is Glenn Beck, the founder of The Blaze and syndicated radio host. Glenn, you've had obviously your fair share of criticism of candidate Trump and President Trump. His Supreme Court pick, I wonder, does it make you rethink your earlier assessment of the kind of president he might turn out to be? Because you were concerned he would not select a conservative jurist.
Yeah, in some ways yes, in some ways no. I didn't think this is a great surprise for a constitutional conservative that was skeptical of what President Trump might do. And on the air today, I apologize to everybody who listened to me, and I said during the primary and during the election, if you're hanging your hat on this, I don't think it's a done deal. I didn't think he would, but he did. And for all of those evangelicals that put everything else aside because they said the Supreme Court is too important, this is a big, big move for Donald Trump, for them.
What about what else you have seen in the first 12 days of this administration? Are there, I assume there are concerns you continue to have?
Yeah, several. Let's take the, quote, Muslim ban. When I heard that reported on the news, and I saw President Trump, as he's signing it, talking about a ban, I thought, oh my gosh, I was against the Muslim ban. This is one of the things that I thought was really horrible. How is this happening through executive order? This is horrible. Then I watched it on the news, and I heard the media talk about it. And then I went and I read the executive order. It's not a ban. It's a pause. Now, it may turn into a ban. I don't know. It may turn into nothing. I don't know. It's a pause. But what happened was, I think, President Trump, for some reason, was calling it a ban, maybe to throw a bone to the people that actually want a Muslim ban, and I don't know who those people are. And then the media picked it up, and without reading it or knowing that it wasn't really a ban, started calling it a ban. Then everybody started to march. And I will tell you, Anderson, you've been in dangerous places in the world, and there comes a time when you can sense, hey, there's trouble coming. At some point, there's trouble coming. Donald Trump is a counterpuncher. Good or bad, like it or not, if you hit him back, he has said, I will hit you back twice as hard. People in the press are hitting him back. People on the street are hitting him back. I hit him back. He hits back twice as hard. We're escalating things. My question to the American people is, how does this end?
Right, where does it go?
We have to. I feel like I'm a very old, puffy Matthew Broderick in war games, and I'm the computer maybe saying the only way to win is to not play the game. How do we not continue to escalate until we are killing each other?
It's interesting, though, because I feel like this is a conversation you have, and I mean, this is a thought process that you have been undertaking for a while now. I mean, you are very reflective of your own past comments, and you have talked about adding to divisiveness in some cases in the past. So I feel like this is kind of a continuation of that. Do you have, for you, what is the answer? Because I know many people in the press say, well, look, it's you have to stand up for facts. You have to point out what is true and what is not. I also think nobody should have a knee-jerk negative response to anybody. I think you need to be fair above all things in one's reporting and in one's governing.
Anderson, I gave an interview to somebody this week, and they said, can you name an honest, intellectually honest, and intellectually curious reporter? Honestly, I could come up with one name, and it was yours. I'm not saying that because I'm on your program. That was the response. I don't know enough people who are actually intellectually curious and intellectually honest that will look at this Muslim ban and say, wait a minute, this isn't a Muslim ban. What are we doing? Why are we running this story? It's a Muslim ban. To de-escalate things, you have to be able to say what the truth is. But I've also not heard anybody in the media say, you know what? There are some things that we did that were wrong.
You know, one of the things I've talked to a number of people, former chiefs of staff, Democrats, Republicans, who've talked about the difficulty of transitioning from campaigning to actually being president and being in the White House and governing, particularly for somebody like President Trump, who has not served in government previously. That transition, according to chiefs of staff in the past, for any candidate, for President Obama it was, for many candidates, it's a very difficult thing. And I'm wondering how much of what you've been seeing, we've been seeing in the last 12 days, is just part of a regular kind of realignment, transitioning, kind of figuring out the levers of government, and how much is something more?
I'm not sure. I mean, I am again feel compelled to express my concern about Steve Bannon. I think he's a very dangerous man, and is a self-proclaimed Leninist that appreciates Lenin's technique of burning everything down and destroying the system so you could rebuild another one. I don't know if it's just politics, if there is a bigger game, or if it's inexperience, but I will tell you, each of us, and me included, have got to watch our words. We have to say, how do I de-escalate this? We have to understand you're working with a counter-puncher. He's going to hit you harder than you hit him. That's only going to ratchet and make you more angry. The press has a profound responsibility to tell the truth and not politic or campaign or be viewed as an army of or a service of one party. And to me, that means you almost have to overcorrect on some things, but not when it comes to the truth.
Well, I mean, I agree with you on that. And I do think it's very easy to get into a pattern in covering things, in even if you're not in public life, just as a citizen watching things, to instantly have a knee-jerk reaction of, you know, a negative knee-jerk reaction. I think that's the easiest thing in the world to do. And I do think all of us have to constantly check ourselves, whatever political stripe we are, whatever our role is, in looking at things with fresh eyes and with unbiased eyes. And I mean, I think that's the most critical thing for certainly reporters to do.
Let's just keep our eye on things and try to be reasonable and just be vigilant on that.
Yeah. Glenn Beck, I appreciate you being on. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, up next, more breaking news. First Lady